right, good evening, Top fans. It's Bill again from TopFanRivalry here with something unique tonight. We actually have a father-daughter combo that are fans of one particular team. I've been looking for this for a month or two, and I've got a good friend of mine on named Jim, and he's got his daughter, Drew. How are you guys this evening?
Excellent, Billy.
Great, thank you.
You bet. It's good to see you guys. Now, tell me, Jim, you grew up on the East Coast, so let me guess, Yankee fan?
Nope, I was born in Boston. It's a birthright to be a Red Sox, right? Drew was also a Red Sox fan.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, why are you a Red Sox fan?
Well, we always grew up watching the Red Sox, so there's not really another team to watch, I guess. And they're a good team.
Yeah.
Now, Jimmy, did you grow up going to games?
Yeah, when you're in Boston, you have four seasons: the Red Sox, the Patriots, the Celtics, and the Bruins. So we were fortunate enough to grow after I got married and had some children. I instilled that love of sports with my daughter, who's a better factual sports fan than I am. I just grew up with it as a birthright, but Drew's a fan by choice.
So I'm going to tell you guys this, and then Drew, I'm going to have you just tell me about the Red Sox because they are playing out of their minds this year so far. But you both of you will. Drew, have you taken her yet to Fenway Park? You guys been back and been to Fenway?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
We have great stories about going to Fenway as well.
Okay, I want to hear.
The greatest ballpark.
What's that?
In all of baseball.
Okay.
The greatest ballpark in all of baseball.
Okay.
The Cathedral.
I almost agree with you. I mean, obviously, being a Dodger fan, but I have to tell you. So when you guys were in the World Series a couple of years ago, not against the Dodgers, but before that, I was back in Boston, and my wife says, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And I said, "I hear that you can pay like $18 and you can do this tour of the stadium. Let's do it." So this guy gives us this tour. We pay our $18. This guy gives us this tour. We're sitting on third base side, right? And he says, "Is there anybody here that's Dodger fans or whoever?" Right? We're all raising our hands. He goes, "Any Yankee fans?" And there was two of them. He's like, "All right, you guys got to leave." And so,
gotta leave.
So then we go down into the visitors clubhouse, which is tiny. Then we go up on top of the monster. Then they take you in the club or the press box. And then they take you over into the right field area so you can look down on the one red seat, which I already knew the story about the one red seat. But this guy was over the top Red Sox goober, and I loved it. But you know how sometimes you just want to poke the bear? So I looked at my wife and I looked at her best friend who was living in Boston at the time. And I said, "Watch this." And my wife looks at me and goes, "No, whatever you're going to do, don't do that. No. So he says, "Is there any questions at the end of this?" And I said, "Sure." So I got a question. And he says, "Okay, what's that?" I said, "Well, this is Fisk Pole, right? And this is Penske Pole over here." I said, "Is that Bucky Dent Monster?" Yeah. And as soon as I said Bucky Dent Monster, he was smiling like this. And as soon as he heard it, he goes, "Any other real question?" The Yankee fans are just cheering. "This is great." And my wife goes, "Whatever
You're lucky we didn't tour with you."
My wife goes, "Somebody's going to follow us out to the car." And I said, "Don't worry. We're okay. We got this." So anyways, that's my Fenway story. Drew.
We actually went on the tour as well.
Okay.
After the day we went to the game, and when we were sitting in right field looking at the one red seat for where Ted Williams hit that home run through the reporter's hat, right?
Yeah.
In that seat, he says, "Well, what seats did you sit in?" And when we told him, Drew, what did he tell us?
He said that the seats were closer to home plate than
to watch the Red Sox game behind home plate, closer to home plate than the pitcher was. So we were within 90 feet, 6 inches.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were that close. I mean, you feel, because it's an old ballpark, right? And you feel like you're on top of the players because that's the way it used to be, right? We didn't have these huge parking lots. We didn't have these huge stadiums. You felt like you were right on top of these guys, and I loved it. I never got to tour the old Yankee Stadium because that would have been fun to see too. But I've been to Chicago, I've been to Wrigley, and so now I've seen the three oldest ballparks: Dodger Stadium, Fenway, and Wrigley, right? So Drew, you're the Red Sox guru. Tell me about the team. What do you see? What are you feeling? Just time is yours. Just I want to hear this because they're in freaking first place, and with the not the hated Yankees, but with their lineup, I would have thought for sure the Yankees would have been them, but Red Sox started off hot. So do tell.
Yeah, I'm really excited for them this year because after they won the World Series, they kind of like went down a little slump, and losing Mookie Betts was kind of hard for everyone.
To that guy with the hat on.
No, we're okay. You saw the banner, right, or the billboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the billboard?
What was the
outside
billboard?
Was it right field? Yeah. Thanks for Mookie
No.
Betts. There's a billboard outside of right field that was paid for by two bloggers that said, "Thanks for Mookie Betts, dear Boston fans. Thanks for Mookie Betts." Yeah. So losing Mookie was big, but tell me more. What about JD Martinez?
I think that was really helpful to like the whole team because like watching like someone else do well, you feel more encouraged to do well yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Players too, like Rafael Devers, who is really exciting to watch, and Xander Bogaerts. So they were still part of the World Series team. So I think having them kind of still leading the team, but getting also more people like Kike Hernandez and Alex Verdugo was also exciting.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be a rebuilding year, right?
Yeah.
And now here we are in first place. Who's leading the American leading home runs?
JD Martinez.
Yeah.
Martinez. Yeah, and so you guys are gonna love Kiki. I mean, that guy just laces them up. I kind of had a man crush on him when he was here in LA just because he was so much fun to watch. You know who he reminds me of? A Boston faithful would understand this. He reminds me a lot of Dustin Pedroia. Just shows up every day just to play the game and has fun doing it.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Alex Verdugo can hit the ball a long way, and he can make a lot of fun things happen too. So you guys are going to love those two guys. Did you see Kiki run into the wall the other day, Drew? In Texas?
I didn't.
So he's going back on a fly ball, and he's backing, and then he runs right smack dab into center field wall, and it knocks him down, and he gets up and he starts laughing. And so he posted on his Twitter, and I followed him on Twitter, and Justin Turner responded, because remember, it was in Austin. It was in Arlington, right? Where the Rangers played, where the Dodgers won the World Series last year. And JT responds to him and goes, "Well, it's a good thing you've never played at that field before." I laughed so hard. There you go, JT. And Kiki responded with all these like smiley face emojis. So what about your pitching staff? How are you guys doing so well? Where's the pitching coming from?
It's kind of crazy. Like we've never been like crazy strong in pitching, but we still have like, I think those who were those like kind of key people still like push everyone along. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Your offense seems to be like, I'm impressed this year because like your dad said, it's supposed to be a rebuilding year, but it's not.
Yeah.
You guys after May, you guys are in first place, and Toronto was supposed to be lights out too, and they're kind of limping along, and so and the Orioles were supposed to limp along all season, and they've actually shown up early on. I'm thinking, what's going on here? This is weird. So,
and Alex Cora back in leadership. Gotta love that.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys like that move?
What do you think?
I think so. I mean, it seems like it's doing well.
Yeah.
Everyone's always accusing the Boston fans, the Boston teams of cheating, right? So we dismiss that. Cora's a winner. It's good to see him back at the helm.
One of my favorite memories watching a baseball game had to do with Alex Cora. He was at bat against, I believe it was Mark Pryor, the current Dodgers pitching coach, and he had a 19 pitch at bat. And on pitch number 19, he hit the ball out of the yard. It was awesome. It was awesome. After 19 pitches, I think Mark Pryor just wanted to stick it on a tee and said, "Go at it, whatever." Next, right? But it was great. So, do you guys think, Drew first, tell me, do you think that you guys got enough to make it through the stretch and to win the East, or is this kind of a let's hope that we can limp into the playoffs, or what do you see so far?
I think we're still holding out pretty strong. So I think if everyone's spirits are still pretty high and people are still encouraged, and like the Red Sox fans are still encouraging the players, I think they can get pretty far.
Okay. What do you think, Jim?
My answer to Bill is, ever since the curse of the Bambino, the Red Sox fans are always in the season up until the moment they are mathematically eliminated. So we are the most hopeful fans in the entire world. So, I mean, we're going all the way to the World Series this year.
Okay. We'll see you there. We plan on being there. We'll see you there. Okay, Drew, who's your favorite player?
We'll see you there.
Yeah. We'll see you there. Drew, who's your favorite player?
Right now I'd probably say Rafael Devers, just because he's so young and it's kind of crazy what he's been doing. And he always has like a nice smile, which encourages like the whole team. It makes everyone feel like ready to play.
Spoken like a true
Billy,
female fan, right? What's that?
Totally. You got to see this one thing. So Drew, in your art class in freshman year,
okay,
right? She's asked to draw a charcoal drawing. Mm-hmm. And who did you draw it of?
Mookie Betts.
Can you show it?
I love it. Let me see it.
Look at this.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes.
Is that the unbelievable thing you've ever seen? Right?
I love it.
I mean, that is Mookie.
I love
right?
it.
And what did you call it?
Oh man. I have to tell you something about Devros, Drew. Every year I play in this fantasy baseball league, and next year I think Top Fan's going to have one for everybody to kind of jump in on. I always draft that guy because he goes through a little bit of ups and downs, but he seems to be consistent the whole season. So he's not like he's not like guys like Cody Bellinger that are really hot or really cold. He has his spells, but every year I draft that guy. So I'm glad that you said him, because that makes me happy. Jim, lifelong Red Sox fan. Who's your favorite player right now?
Oh, I don't have a favorite player right now. I go back in time. The Red Sox have been so storied that I don't know. I was just thinking about, we were going to spend some time thinking about Carlton Fisk's home run. When I played every sport that I played, it was Carl Yastrzemski's number 8. I mean, growing up with Ted Williams, my dad played baseball at Notre Dame. He was a pitcher, and he got recruited by a couple of teams. And get this. So my dad gets invited to the Red Sox to a dinner where Ted Williams is going to be at his table. And he didn't go because he didn't know the social graces, and he didn't know the knives and the forks and the spoons and the whatever. And he didn't go to lunch with Ted Williams. I mean, honestly, we have great success in our family, but what an epic fail by my dad.
Yeah. What an epic fail, right? I mean, Dad, just have somebody point the forks out to you. Do it. Oh man.
Dude, just fake it. Fake and say hello to Ted.
So there's 2 players that I will always remember that are Red Sox. And it just, growing up in Orange County, California, you would never think this, but Dwight Evans, I always remember that guy playing outfield. He was just, he was the type of guy, Dewey was the type of guy
biggest arm, right?
Mm-hmm. his arm, and he was just the guy that laced it up every day and just enjoyed it. And I always knew I liked Jim Rice, but I recently saw an article about the kid who got hit by the foul ball that Jim Rice pulled into the dugout. You remember this story?
Pulled into the dugout and saved him. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
and his parents with him.
Yeah. And it was like the 30th anniversary of it or something like that. And I recently saw it and it was fit. Drew, have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You need to see this.
Dad, you're going to have to tell her about this. But I mean, I actually posted that on my my Facebook. And Jim, you know that I have a former Angel that's on my Facebook, and his son I used to be in business with. And he responded and he says, I never knew this about Jim Rice. And so that was a huge thing. I mean, I'm not going to spoil for you, Drew. I'm going to let your dad
Jim Rice, he picked up the medical bill. He went to the hospital and picked up the medical bill for the kid as well.
Right after
How great
the game.
Is that?
Right after the game. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I have to tell you, even though I'm a Dodger fan, I'm a huge fan of baseball history. And you guys got some great history over there. You guys got some great history. And it's an experience. When you go to a Red Sox game, it's an experience. It's not just a game. It's not like going to some of the stadiums around here where you park, you walk, you go in, you watch the game, you leave in the 7th inning, right? It's an experience. And I suspect if you leave in the 7th inning at Fenway, people are like following you out to your car and they're not nice to you.
Well, first of all, every game's sold out, right? So it's a tough ticket to get. But when we were younger and my dad would take us, I can tell you more about the ride on the tee and the people and the characters on the way to the game. Sure, I can tell you about Freddie Lynn catching the ball in the outfield over his shoulder and then hitting a home run, and Jim Rice snapping a bat, checking his swing, snapping a bat, all those storied things. But usually when people tell me that they went to a Red Sox game, I say, where did you sit? And then what'd you eat outside? Right? All those sausages and all the food outside and all that experience. Like, really, the ballpark is something special. Watching a Red Sox game is great. But to your point, how'd you get there? What'd you eat? You're not a Red Sox fan. How were you treated? How do you find the fans? Were they very, very knowledgeable? And of course, they score off the charts for knowledge and just a good time.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. The stadium is phenomenal. The experience is phenomenal. Like I said, I took my wife there, and she's used to going to she's been to Angel Stadium and Dodger Stadium, and I think I took her down to Petco. Yeah, she's been down to Petco. And Petco down in San Diego they're trying to make that atmosphere like the East Coast, but it's nowhere near there. I mean, it's not there. And I mean, you go back, Drew, these are fun memories for you to go back. But when you go back, you talk about the Yankees Red Sox rivalry. I mean, ask your dad what happened with when Reggie Jackson got taken out of the outfield one day because he lollygagged on a ground ball. His manager pulled him out right in the middle of the inning, and it was a big brouhaha. And his manager, Reggie Jackson, got into a fist fight in the dugout at Fenway. You remember
the days, man. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
So what do I
now?
Need? Go ahead. What was that?
So every year, I take the family to when the Red Sox play the Angels out here. Mm-hmm. And it's really a Red Sox home game, if you haven't noticed, right? That's all true. The Red Sox fans are there and they cheer louder, and the Angels fans don't even want to go. But they're like $300 a ticket right now. Just crazy. So I'm not sure if we're going to get the family to see the Angels when we're out here this year or not.
Yeah, I've noticed that. The Angels say everything's gone up. Owners are trying to make their money back, right? I mean,
yeah, just big money.
I mean, it's there's one stadium, actually I think it was Anaheim Stadium, I want to say, up in the 500 section up at the top for opening weekend. Those tickets usually go for about $10 to $12. They were going for $45 to $80. Like to sit up there, right? It's just not worth it. So Drew, what do I need to watch for? I am a baseball fan at heart. So what do I need to watch for going in up to the All-Star break for the Red Sox to, like, just tell me what I'm supposed to be looking for. Teach me, teach me, teach me. I'm your student.
I don't know. I guess just like kind of those key people, I guess, that are still going to be doing well, like consistently for sure. And then kind of just as they keep practicing and like, there's a lot of kind of more experienced people on the team, even though they're still young, that are going to teach everyone else kind of like that kind of winning work ethic, I guess.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. And I think some of those keys, I think you got it right. Devros, Hernandez, Alex Verdugo, right? JD Martinez. Oh my gosh. This guy's knocking the cover off the ball.
Yeah.
It's like it's in slow motion.
Crushing it.
Right? I mean, what's he got? Like 26, 28 RBIs already, something like that. I mean, he's on pace for, 300 RBIs, or I'm exaggerating, but he's just killing the ball right now. So Jim, what should I look for as a baseball fan for Red Sox Nation this these next couple of months?
Well, I'm as surprised as anyone that they're in the position that they're at. So as a Red Sox fan, we're ever hopeful. But Alex Cora has a leadership. He's been there. He's done that. He's been at the helm for great seasons. So as Drew mentioned, some of the young kids, some of the more seasoned folks, I watch Alex Cora and how he can lead the team. Because if that's the case, then who knows what the Red Sox can do. It's supposed to be a rebuilding year, and they're on a tear. So unlike my Bruins, who are peaking late, it's a little different to peak early. But as a Red Sox fan, we are always hopeful to are mathematically eliminated.
There you go. There you go. All right. As we wrap up, I'm going to ask you both the same question. And this is going to be a very difficult question, because if somebody asked me this question, I'd look and I'd go, I got about 1,000. Give me one of your favorite Red Sox memories, either at the stadium, on TV, whatever. And so Drew, ladies first, give me one of your favorite Red Sox memories. And then Jim, I'm going to ask you the same question.
I think watching them win like the World Series, like obviously a great moment, but I think watching it with my dad and like our whole family, and also going through like the whole process of like the whole playoffs, was just something really special. And like, even though we're all the way on the other side of the country, you still kind of feel like you're a part of the team, and then like rooting them on is going to really make a difference.
Absolutely. I love that.
And for me, I mean, just growing up with the Red Sox, there are too many to name. The Yankees has to rank up there with everybody. But when we got to go back with my brother, his family, he horse traded some tickets, and we got the whole family right behind home plate. So we really got to see the game from an intimate feel of Fenway, where not only are we eating the best hot dogs in all of baseball, the Fenway Frank, but experiencing everything about it. And then we got to go back the next day, and we got the Cook's tour like yourself, just going around the cathedral with my family, sitting in the big monster in the front seats, looking down over it, taking pictures, getting into all those different places, just walking around it, walking outside, being able to go to the gift shop and go and get some really cool things like, all sorts of Red Sox memorabilia. But I think being able to watch a game and then take a tour of Fenway Park with my family is probably the highlight of my
I thank you for that. That's a lot of the reason why we do this at Top Fan, because there's so much going on in life, right? And baseball just seems to be a great unifying family thing, right? I mean, Jim, you just heard your daughter say, when I watch a World Series game with my dad, I mean, you got to feel great about that, right? And I mean, here you're talking about going to Fenway with your family. I mean, this is why we do this, right? So, okay. So Here's my one last thing for you guys. I want to invite you back around the All-Star break. Let's see where there's at. Can we do this again sometime around the All-Star break?
Absolutely. Go Red Sox.
Go Red Sox.
Go Red
Top
Sox.
fans.
Go Sox.
Yeah. By the way, top fans, if you didn't catch it, one of Jim's favorite memories was a dig at the Dodgers about not having Dodger dogs anymore. And Drew's favorite memory was them beating the Dodgers in the World Series. But I took it like a champ. Okay, top fans, this is good. Anyways, I appreciate you guys so much. By all means, watch the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, watch it on Top Fan, and we'll do this again. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Billy.
Thank you.
Yep.